Hello and welcome to Longevity Secrets, the place where we uncover the truth about health, wellness, and aging gracefully. Today we are going to venture into a topic that is a minefield of confusion and conflicting advice for anyone trying to manage their blood sugar. Fruit. You're standing in the vibrant produce aisle, surrounded by a beautiful rainbow of nature's bounty. You see the glossy red apples, the bunches of bright green grapes, the sunny yellow bananas. You've been told your whole life that fruit is healthy, that it's nature's candy, packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. You reach for a bag of grapes or a ripe mango, feeling like you are making a responsible, health-conscious choice. But later, when you test your blood sugar, the number on your monitor tells a completely different and often shocking story. A story of a sharp, unexpected spike that leaves you feeling frustrated, defeated, and utterly confused. This experience can be incredibly disheartening. You feel like you're trying to do the right thing, yet your body is reacting as if you've just eaten a candy bar. The truth is, you're not imagining it, and it's not your fault. The wellness world has painted all fruit with the same broad, healthy brushstroke, failing to educate us on the critical nuances that matter profoundly for metabolic health. For a person with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes, understanding that not all fruits are created equal is not just helpful information, it is a life-changing revelation. Some fruits, despite their health halo and vitamin content, are so densely packed with sugar and so lacking in the necessary fiber to buffer its absorption that they act like sugar bombs in your system. They are, quite literally, wolves in sheep's clothing. Today, we are going to arm you with the knowledge to navigate that produce aisle with confidence. We are going to identify 3 specific so-called healthy fruits that are often secret saboteurs of blood sugar control. We will not just name them, we will take a deep dive into the science of why they are so problematic. We'll explore their unique sugar composition, their fiber content, or lack thereof, and how they are metabolized by your body. And most importantly, this is not a message of deprivation. For every fruit we ask you to be cautious of, we will provide you with several delicious, satisfying, and truly blood sugar-friendly alternatives. This journey is about moving from confusion to clarity. It's about trading frustration for empowerment. It's about learning to work with your body, providing it with the foods that nourish and stabilize, rather than shock and disrupt. So, settle in, open your mind, and let's unravel the sweet and often deceptive truth about fruit. The first fruit we need to place under the microscope is one of the most popular and seemingly innocent snacks in the world: grapes. They are small, convenient, and easy to eat. You can pop them in your mouth one after another while watching television or sitting at your desk. They are often marketed as a light, refreshing, and heart-healthy snack, rich in antioxidants like resveratrol. And while they do contain beneficial compounds, for a person concerned with blood sugar, a bowl of grapes can be one of the most treacherous choices you can make. The danger of grapes lies in a deceptive trifecta: their high sugar concentration, their low fiber content, and the profound ease of overconsumption. Let's first talk about the sugar. Grapes are exceptionally sweet for a reason. They are packed with a nearly 50-50 split of 2 simple sugars, glucose and fructose. The glucose is absorbed directly and rapidly into your bloodstream, causing an immediate and swift rise in your blood sugar levels. It's like a direct injection of sugar. The fructose takes a different, more insidious path. It has to be processed almost exclusively by your liver. When you eat a small, reasonable amount of fruit with plenty of fiber, your liver can handle this fructose load just fine. But when you consume a large amount of fructose in a short period, as is so easy to do with grapes, you overwhelm the liver. The liver's response to this flood of fructose is to convert it into triglycerides, a type of fat that gets stored in the liver and released into the bloodstream. This process, over time, can contribute to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and worsen the underlying condition of insulin resistance, making your body even less effective at handling sugar in the future. Now let's consider the fiber problem. The protective element in fruit is its fiber. Fiber acts as a braking system. It forms a gel-like matrix in your digestive tract that slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates and the subsequent absorption of sugar. It's the seatbelt that protects you from the impact of the sugar crash. A single grape has a very thin skin and a watery pulp, containing a negligible amount of fiber. There is almost nothing to slow down that tidal wave of glucose and fructose from hitting your system. The sugar is free and immediately available. This is why grapes have a surprisingly high glycemic index for a fruit. Their effect on your blood sugar can be sharp and severe, leading to a massive release of insulin and the inevitable energy crash and renewed cravings that follow. Finally, and perhaps most critically, is the issue of portion distortion. When you eat an apple or a pear, there's a definite stopping point. But with grapes, it's a mindless, endless snack. A single serving of grapes is technically about half a cup, which is only about 15 or 16 grapes. Who stops at 16 grapes? Most people will sit down with a large bowl containing 2 or 3 cups, consuming the sugar equivalent of a can of soda or a large candy bar, all under the illusion that they are making a healthy choice. This combination of high sugar, low fiber, and mindless overeating makes grapes a perfect storm for blood sugar dysregulation. It is a food that provides a massive sugar load with almost no satiety signals, leaving you unsatisfied and with dangerously elevated glucose levels. So, what should you reach for when you want that burst of sweet, juicy flavor? The answer lies in the berry family. Berries, such as blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, are the superstars of the fruit world for anyone managing blood sugar. Let's compare them to grapes. A cup of raspberries contains about 5 grams of sugar, but it also packs a phenomenal 8 grams of fiber. The fiber content is actually higher than the sugar content. This is the golden ratio you are looking for. This incredible amount of fiber means the small amount of sugar is released into your bloodstream incredibly slowly, resulting in a tiny, gentle curve in your blood sugar rather than a sharp, damaging spike. Blueberries and strawberries are similarly excellent, with a fantastic fiber-to-sugar ratio. Furthermore, the deep, rich colors of these berries come from compounds called anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants that have been shown in studies to actually improve insulin sensitivity and protect the cells in your pancreas. So, instead of a bowl of grapes, enjoy a bowl of mixed berries. For an even more stabilizing effect, pair them with a source of healthy fat and protein. A handful of berries with a scoop of full-fat plain Greek yogurt or a small handful of walnuts is a delicious, nutrient-dense, and metabolically superb snack that will satisfy your sweet tooth while actively supporting your health goals. Our second fruit that wears a deceptive health halo is the banana, specifically the ripe banana. Bananas are ubiquitous in the world of health and fitness. They are praised for their potassium content, their convenience as a pre-workout snack, and their natural ability to sweeten smoothies and baked goods. They are seen as the ultimate good carb. However, the metabolic story of a banana is a tale of transformation, and understanding this transformation is absolutely critical. The key lies in the ripening process. A banana's impact on your blood sugar changes dramatically as it goes from green to yellow to spotted brown. A banana that is still slightly green at the tips is composed primarily of resistant starch. Resistant starch is a type of carbohydrate that your body cannot easily digest. It resists digestion in the small intestine and travels down to the large intestine, where it acts as a prebiotic. It becomes food for your beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria ferment the starch, producing beneficial compounds like butyrate, which can actually improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. Because you are not directly absorbing it as sugar, a green-tipped banana has a much lower glycemic index and a far gentler effect on your blood sugar. However, as that banana ripens, a natural enzymatic process begins to convert those long, complex resistant starch chains into simple, easily accessible sugars, primarily sucrose, glucose, and fructose. That is why a ripe, yellow banana is so much sweeter and softer than a green one. By the time a banana is yellow with brown spots, it has become a starch-poor, sugar-rich fruit. When you eat a very ripe banana, you are consuming a food that is now predominantly simple sugar, with much less of the protective resistant starch. The remaining fiber is not enough to prevent a rapid absorption of this sugar, leading to a significant and often problematic blood sugar spike for someone who is already insulin resistant. This is why a person with diabetes might eat a banana and see their blood sugar shoot up by 50, 80, or even 100 points. The problem is compounded by how we consume ripe bananas. They are the default base for most smoothies. When you blend a ripe banana, you are essentially pre-digesting it. The blender's blades do the work that your teeth and stomach are supposed to do, breaking down any remaining fibrous structures. This makes that high sugar content even more rapidly available for absorption. A smoothie made with a ripe banana, other sweet fruits, and a base of juice or sweetened milk is not a health drink. It is a metabolic disaster in a glass, guaranteed to send your blood sugar on a wild roller coaster ride. So, what is the alternative to the sweet, creamy banana? If you love the texture it adds to smoothies, your #1 swap should be avocado. This might sound strange, but avocado is technically a fruit, and it is a metabolic powerhouse. A quarter of an avocado will give your smoothie an incredibly creamy, rich texture, far superior to a banana, but it contains less than 1 gram of sugar. Instead of sugar, it provides heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and a generous dose of fiber. This combination actively works to stabilize your blood sugar and keep you feeling full and satisfied for hours. You will get the creaminess you crave without any of the metabolic consequences. If you are looking for a handheld fruit, instead of a ripe banana, consider a small peach or a plum. These stone fruits have a high water content and a good amount of fiber, which results in a lower sugar density and a gentler impact on your blood sugar. And if you must have a banana, choose one that is still firm and has green tips. Slice up half of it and pair it with a tablespoon of almond butter. The protein and fat from the nut butter will help to slow down the absorption of the banana's carbohydrates, providing a much more balanced and manageable snack. This brings us to our third and final category of fruits to avoid, the tropical sugar bombs, with mangoes and pineapples as the primary examples. These fruits are incredibly seductive. They taste of sunshine and paradise. They are bursting with flavor and are rich in vitamins like vitamin C and enzymes like the bromelain in pineapple, which aids in digestion. Because of these benefits, they are often promoted as superfoods. However, from a purely blood sugar perspective, these tropical delights are some of the most concentrated sources of sugar you can find in the entire produce section. Let's look at the mango. A single, medium-sized mango can contain a staggering 45 grams of sugar. That is more sugar than you'll find in a can of cola. The pineapple is not far behind. While they do contain some fiber, the sheer density of the sugar in these fruits completely overwhelms any protective effect that fiber might offer. The sugar is predominantly fructose, and as we discussed with grapes, a massive influx of fructose places a significant strain on the liver, promoting fat storage and worsening insulin resistance over the long term. Evolutionarily, these fruits developed to be intensely sweet for a reason, to attract animals to eat them and disperse their seeds. They are nature's original candy, designed for a quick burst of energy. But for the modern human living a more sedentary lifestyle and already struggling with carbohydrate metabolism, this intense sugar load is simply too much for our systems to handle gracefully. The problem is magnified by the ways we tend to consume these fruits. They are often served in huge portions in fruit salads, blended into already sweet smoothies, or juiced, which removes the fiber entirely and creates a beverage that is metabolically indistinguishable from soda. And perhaps the worst offender of all is dried tropical fruit. When you remove the water from a mango or pineapple, you are left with a chewy piece of candy that is an incredibly concentrated source of sugar. A small handful of dried mango can have the same blood sugar impact as eating several donuts. It is a surefire way to send your glucose levels into the stratosphere. While these fruits can be enjoyed in very small, carefully controlled portions on rare occasions, they should never be a staple in the diet of anyone who is serious about managing their blood sugar. So, when you crave something exotic and delicious, where can you turn? One excellent choice is kiwi. A kiwi has a delightful tropical tang, but it is much lower in sugar and much higher in fiber than mango or pineapple. The edible seeds and skin, yes, the fuzzy skin is edible and packed with fiber, slow down sugar absorption. Kiwis are also one of the richest sources of vitamin C and contain a unique enzyme called actinidin that can help with protein digestion. Another fantastic option is cherries, particularly tart cherries. Cherries have a lower glycemic index and are packed with the same anti-inflammatory anthocyanins found in berries. Studies have even suggested that tart cherry consumption may improve insulin sensitivity and reduce the risk of diabetic complications. They provide a deep, satisfying sweetness without the extreme sugar load of other tropical fruits. The key is to always be a detective. Before you eat a fruit, develop an intuition for it. Does it taste intensely, one-dimensionally sweet like a mango? Or does it have a more complex, tangy flavor profile like a kiwi or a raspberry? Your taste buds can often be a good first indicator of the sugar content within. In summary, the world of fruit is not black and white. It is a spectrum, and learning to navigate that spectrum is the key to mastering your blood sugar. We've identified 3 key areas of caution: the deceptively easy to overeat low-fiber grapes, the ripe, high-sugar banana, and the intensely concentrated tropical sugar bombs like mangoes and pineapples. This knowledge is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create freedom. The freedom to choose fruits that will love you back. The freedom to enjoy the sweetness of nature without the metabolic punishment. The core principles are simple. Prioritize fruits with a high fiber to sugar ratio, like berries and kiwis. Always be mindful of your portions. And whenever possible, pair your fruit with a source of healthy protein or fat to create a balanced, blood sugar-friendly snack. This is not about dieting. This is about living intelligently and in harmony with your body's needs. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive at Longevity Secrets. If this video has brought you clarity and a new sense of empowerment, please show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more myth-busting health wisdom. We would be honored to have you as part of our community. And now, we want to hear from you. What has been your experience with fruit and blood sugar? Is there a particular fruit that you discovered was a secret saboteur for you? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience is valuable and can help so many others on their journey. Until next time, make conscious choices, stay curious, and take wonderful care of the amazing body you've been given. You are worth the effort.